Good morning, everyone. We are so excited to welcome you here today for the live stream of the 2025 State of the Yaya Report.
We are part of YAYAs, the premier, full-service, student-staffed ad agency housed in the Missouri School of Journalism.
We work with clients such as NASA, Wilson, Sour Patch Kids, Nestle Purina, and more. We specialize in the youth and young adult market, otherwise known as the Yaya market. No one knows these consumers quite like we do because we are these consumers. As members of this elusive demographic, we serve as liaisons between the Yaya market and the people seeking to reach them.
Originally coined by YAYAs, the Yaya market refers to 18 to 24-year-olds. They are in a pivotal life stage where they're shaping their identities and undergoing major life changes.
At 31 million strong across the country, these consumers are choosing to stick with the brands they know or switch to new ones. If brands fail to reach these consumers now, they may never catch up.
Over the next 30 minutes, you'll hear the three YAYAs teams dive into these three questions. Will AI ruin the world?
Is anything taboo?
And what is success?
We conducted secondary research from 216 unique academic and industry sources.
Our quantitative primary data came from a 66-question survey with 807 respondents. These respondents came from a nationally representative sample of Yaya consumers, consistent with U.S. Census demographics.
Our qualitative research consisted of 7 focus groups, 6 pair-depth interviews, and 16 in-depth interviews, resulting in 61 total participants from across the country. We cannot wait to share these exciting results with you shortly. But before we do, in the spirit of being good hosts, allow us to first introduce ourselves.
We are Team Kinetic, and over the past semester, we've put our potential into motion by diving into a topic that has dominated discourse, AI. We've gone to know how Yayas really feel about this new presence in their lives. And now, we'll give you a chilling look into how AI has crept in.
A few years ago, AI showed up on doorsteps around the globe.
YAYAs never asked for it, never invited it. But here it was, baggage in tow, demanding entrance into our lives. The uninvited guest.
It felt like there was no choice but to let it in. So YAYAs did, and AI quickly made itself at home.
Now, it's always watching.
Learning.
And suggesting.
It's always right there.
We were pushed to invite it into meetings with us, ask it for help on our essays, and consult it with every single concern.
Things started out fine.
Its suggestions were helpful.
The feedback was thoughtful, even if it was a little too informed.
And when there was no one else to talk to about relationships, it was a careful listener.
But after a while, YAYAs realized that AI had crept into aspects we didn't expect, looming over essential parts of life: school, work, and relationships.
Over time, it started influencing everyone. 95% of YAYAs have used AI, and 58% use it either daily or multiple times a week.
AI has shifted from an unfamiliar presence to a consistent confidant and trusty sidekick, but it's a little more sinister than it first appeared.
With its integration into everyday life, it seems there's no way to escape AI.
78% of those surveyed agree that AI will dominate their future, whether they like it or not. And concerningly, almost 3/4 say that AI is being integrated into society without their consent.
As one Yaya said, a decision has already been made without me.
Though this looming presence is often menacing and unsettling, that's not to say it can't lend a helpful hand every once in a while.
The classroom is an area that many students have welcomed the guest into, unsurprisingly. 73% of students agree that AI allows them to work smarter, not harder, and 69% agree that AI helps them learn.
We've probably all used AI for administrative tasks or brainstorming, and most YAYAs are no different. When asked to select what AI helps them do, the top 4 responses were AI helps me use my time more efficiently, produce higher quality work, think more creatively, and multitask.
While it may sound convenient to dump meaningless tasks onto AI, it erodes our intelligence.
When we value AI's computer-generated efficiency over the pursuit of knowledge, learning becomes an illusion.
YAYAs seem to understand this threat, and they want some supervision over AI's implementation. 57% of YAYAs agree that AI should be taught as an undergrad college course, and a surprising 2/3 agree it should only be used for administrative or basic automated tasks.
This hesitation haunts YAYAs emotionally too. We ask them to select what AI helps them do, or makes them feel, and while 28% said intelligent, almost the same number of respondents said it made them feel guilty or dependent.
Basically, as 56% said, AI makes them feel conflicted.
This contradiction made us realize, even though YAYAs agree AI has helpful qualities, AI damages the integrity of learning.
In fact, one Yaya told us, I think back to how much work I did in high school, like brainstorming, outlining, and making presentations, and how now I can do that all in just 5 minutes because of AI. In high school, it would take me hours to do some of those processes.
This YAYA isn't alone. 3/4 agree that AI makes it harder to develop skills like critical thinking.
One thing's for sure, Yayas are concerned about AI's impact on their education. We were surprised to find that while only 1/3 of Yayas think that AI will have a positive impact on human knowledge, and 78% agree that reliance on AI discourages learning, their hesitation doesn't deter them from using it.
When students abandon the struggle of learning and lean on the guest for easy completion, their work loses deeper meaning and educational value.
This begs the question, when AI is the brainpower for every assignment, who really earns the degree? The student or the uninvited guest?
AI dominates Yaya school lives, and it follows them to work too, lurking in documents, looking over every email, and taking a few tasks off their plates.
It helps YAYAs save time and be more productive, so it's a mostly welcome companion in the workplace. The concern grows when the guest becomes the mentor, stagnating YAYAs in the comfort of easy answers instead of actual guidance.
1/4 of Yayas say they would feel less confident in their decisions and ideas if they didn't have AI at work, and 56% agree AI should be integrated into the workplace to make their jobs easier.
They worry about letting the guest have too tight a grasp on their lives, but they also fear that unless they harness AI's potential, they'll be at a disadvantage compared to their peers.
And a 2024 Mintel report confirmed our suspicions, saying, as junior workforce members, Gen Z is the most worried that AI systems or someone comfortable with AI will replace them.
The guest serves as a coworker and a collaborator, as expected, but it's starting to become the go-to influence for YAYAs in situations where they may have turned to mentors or bosses in the past.
And when we found a 2024 Forbes study that said nearly half of Gen Z would prefer to ask AI about work-related questions over their colleagues or managers, we knew mentorship was in trouble.
Our survey respondents trust AI too. 21% agree that AI could be a mentor, and 2/3 say that its influence in the workplace will be positive.
And one Yaya said, I know that AI is changing to a place where it serves as a mentor and someone you actually trust, like a doctor or therapist. They are basically training it to replace humans.
Mentorship is crucial for young employees' development because mentors see your personality and potential, not just your patterns or online behaviors. You can trust them to critique you because they have your best interest in mind.
However, the guest, not so much. Yayas agree AI is far from impartial, with 57% saying AI is biased and 68% saying AI performs better with polite prompts.
And even though they embrace AI with open arms, they are still skeptical of what it creates. 81% of survey respondents said that a human perspective is necessary and cannot be replaced. And 61% said that creations made by AI are not as impressive as those made by humans.
With this shift in mentorship, it is clear that Yayas dodge real criticism when we turn to the uninvited guest, because AI can never give us the kind of feedback that we seek from mentors.
We enter a feedback loop of confirmation and miss out on the challenges and critiques that make strong professionals.
This raises a crucial question. Does asking AI for feedback kill constructive criticism, trapping Yayas in a hollow decay of progress?
It's bad enough when the guest haunts every moment at work or steals Yaya's opportunities for growth.
But when AI begins to shift from a tool to a relationship, things get even creepier. What happens when AI begins to infiltrate our relationships?
Throughout our qualitative research, we noticed just how often people personify AI. They would call the guest her or say it was thinking. They even told us they ask AI for relationship advice.
One respondent said, I ask it, what do I say to this girl? How do I talk to girls? What do you think about me doing this?
Another said she asked AI personal questions, like how to interpret complicated texts from friends. It's becoming an integral part in Yaya's social lives.
But with 58% of Yayas admitting that they talk to AI like a person, it shouldn't be so surprising that they're willing to lean on it for advice. But is turning to a machine to make your relationships more perfect actually damaging the human connection?
When we asked YAYAs to select what AI can be, 16% said therapist, 14% said friend, and shockingly, 2% said lover.
While these percentages are still the minority, the shift to see AI as a meaningful influence is happening slowly, but we are watching it in real time.
It's scary to think that while 74% of YAYAs agree AI will have a negative impact on human connection, and 52% say AI will have a negative impact on mental health and well-being, YAYAs are starting to forget to resist the guest.
The feeling of someone always looking over their shoulder has shifted, and now they think of the guest as someone who's always in their corner, a seemingly confidential source of information and advice, without the burdens of asking a real person.
With the guest help, YAYAs can filter out all of the awkwardness and emotional labor that actually makes a relationship.
You're perfect. So are you.
They remove perceived imperfections when talking to a friend or someone on a dating app. We began to wonder, are YAYAs removing themselves from their relationships?
As AI creeps further into our lives, YAYAs are letting it kick them out of their roles as students, extinguish their mentorship connections, and strip the humanity from their relationships.
YAYAs are frightened of AI's influence. 59% believe that AI will ruin the world.
3/4 don't trust the companies developing AI.
And 2/3 believe that AI has the potential to harm them. But we can't just throw up our hands and pretend we're powerless to AI's influence or act like we're not the ones letting it into our lives.
AI can be a useful resource, or we can treat it like the boogeyman. Really, this relationship is up to us as the hosts.
As we looked at all of these experiences, both hair-raising and puzzling, we concluded that the threats of AI are real, but if we invest in the process of education, grow through critique, and choose to be imperfect in our relationships, AI will assume its proper role as a tool.
Let this be both a warning and encouragement. We can be skeptical and take hold of our lives while working efficiently and tapping into AI's wealth of knowledge.
We can take ownership of our classrooms, workplaces, and social lives.
The uninvited guest is everywhere, but these places belong to us.